So you want to know how Shyaren became Shyaren, how I became this gremlin? Well, it's all the fault of my sister. Uh-huh. Let's talk about it. So, I was very innocent as a child, right? I was the loveliest, cutie patootiest child that played with Duplo and Lego that ever existed, right? I might have been a little bit hyperactive as a child, but maybe, I don't know. Then at some point, like I was always playing in the garden and stuff like that, and I played some Super Mario occasionally at my sister's house. But then one fateful day at Easter when I was 6, something happened that would change my life forever. Okay. So, at that Easter, I'm pretty sure I already didn't believe in the Easter Bunny anymore because I like kind of knew what would happen. I don't remember how I knew, but I just knew it would happen. At that Easter, my sister, my lovely, lovely sister with whom I am living right now, decided to gift me her Super Nintendo, her SNES, with the games she had and with the controllers she had. So at that point, the console wandered from her house to my house. And that, my friends, was the beginning of the end. So, I had a Super Nintendo. What games did I have? I had Super Mario World. Amazing game, by the way, right? Amazing freaking game. I'm pretty sure I had Donkey Kong Country and Street Fighter 2. Those are the 3 games I'm 100% sure about that I had from the very beginning. And actually, I think Zelda Link to the Past I also had from the beginning. I know that some games I got like later, because my other sister who wasn't living with us also had a Super Nintendo and she also had games, so sometimes we would like trade and lend each other the games. And I knew some games we did buy later because at some point I had like Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3 and they were amazing as well, and like other games. But yeah, I started playing these games and I freaking love these games. I don't know how many times I played for Super Mario World. It must have been 100 times or something, right? I spent hours and hours and hours in Street Fighter 2 and still sucked at it, okay? I still sucked at it. So that happened, right? But by the time she like gifted me the Super Nintendo, the console was like very old already, right? I think the Game Boy was already out, so pretty soon after I did get the Game Boy, this time from my father. And that was a big mistake. There was a big mistake because now I had access to gaming wherever I would go. And the big game, of course, on the Game Boy was Pokemon. Was Pokemon Blue and Red. And my father, thinking about it, like really enabled me being a gamer girl, okay? Because he bought me Pokemon Blue and Pokemon Red. And then later, like all the Pokemons up to like Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, and then after that I kind of lost interest in Pokemon for a few years, right? So I played all the Pokemon games. I played a lot of other games on the DS as well, like the Zelda one. What's it called? Zelda Waking Up? Zelda DX? Something. The one on the island with the giant egg, right? Where it has like Mario characters as well. Then like the Oracle of Times games. That one I played. I had some weird like Mickey Mouse game on the thing as well. And of course, we continued with the Game Boy Advance. And my god, the Game Boy Advance is still, to this day, one of my like favorite consoles ever because that was where I played Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, which were freaking amazing, okay? That is where I played Super Mario 2 and Zelda, Minish Cap, and like many, many others. And then at some point, what came after the SNES? Oh yeah, the N64. Like I never personally had the N64, but I had a good friend who had an N64, and that good friend had 3 N64s. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why that family had so many N64s. They only had 2 kids, okay? But yeah, I went over to him quite frequently and played a lot of games there, like the Zelda game and the Yoshi's Island. I really liked it, and of course we played Smash as well. That's where I learned about Smash, and I loved Smash. So that was cool. And oh, we played so much Mario Party, like all the Mario parties on the N64. That's what really got me like into party games as well. And occasionally he would like lend me one of his N64s because again they had like 3 of them, right? And I would play Zelda at home, Ocarina of Time. I still never finished the game. To this day, I never finished the complete game from start to finish. But that is okay. That's okay. I don't need to. I don't need to. My ego doesn't need to do that. No. So that was fun. Then later, I'm not entirely sure if the Wii or the Nintendo DS came first. No, of course the Wii didn't come first, Baka, because there was the GameCube. Okay, I'm not sure if the GameCube was first or if the Nintendo DS was first. I'm pretty sure the GameCube was first because the GameCube had like games that would connect to a Game Boy Advance or a Game Boy Advance SP. So yeah, we got the GameCube. And that is like where like my big JRPG like phase started. I played like some JRPGs back on the SNES. Like I had Secret of Mana, that was my favorite game ever, right? I played it so many times. Besides like Legends, Secret of Mana, and The Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, were my two favorite games on the SNES and probably still are. But then I had the GameCube, and on GameCube I had quite a few games. Because by the time I would get like quite substantial amount of money for a child for like my birthday and Christmas and stuff like that, so I would spend it all on video games. Of course. And sometimes my parents would give me like an extra game here and there as well, which was very nice. So I had the Pokemon Stadium games. I played the Legends of Zelda games that were on there, like Wind Waker, and later, what's the other one called where he turns into a wolf? Midnight Crisis, Midnight Princess. You know what I mean. You know what game I mean. Then I played the Smash Bros. Game, Smash Bros. Melee. Anyone? Smash Bros. Melee, anyone? Okay, by the way, GameCube controller, still the best controller in the freaking world. Okay. Then I played Kirby Air Riders. And I'm so happy that they announced a new Kirby Air Riders. I freaking cried at the announcement. It's so good! It's so good! It's so freaking good! Okay, that happened. And then, of course, there was Paper Mario. I can't list all of the GameCube games, right? I'm pretty sure I played, like, most of the major GameCube games, okay? Like, between me and my best friend, we had, like, most of the major games, and we would lend each other the games. And that was also the time when my father would, like, get games lended, like, from places like video stores, you know, like your Blockbusters and stuff like that. But it wasn't Blockbuster because it's Germany and we didn't have a chain here, but like video stores like that. But there was one game that to this day is one of my favorite RPGs and JRPGs and favorite stories in a video game ever. And it's probably one of the games that really, really, really like anchored down my love for gaming. And that, my dear friends, is Tales of Symphonia. That's right. The Tales series did not start on the GameCube, but I think Tales of Symphonia for many people was like the big first like entrance to the Symphonia games. Well, to the Tales games, not to the Symphonia games, obviously. Because I'm pretty sure that back in the day, the like other game was only on the PlayStation 2 in like Japan. I don't think it got translated until later. But yeah, Tales of Symphonia was like one of the first, if not the first, big Tales game that got translated. And I played through this game religiously, right? I played through the game at least 20 times, right? Because in that game, you can finish the game and then you can do a new game plus with like some extras and stuff like that. I did like all the secret bosses, I did all the secret things, I did all the stories, I leveled all the characters, did all the things. And to this day, I freaking love that game. And I'm still so pissed that it did not get like a full remaster rework. They did like a re-release of the game, but it's still like the old like graphics. It's like still a good game, obviously, but I would love that to get like the treatment to have like nowadays cool looking graphics, right? That was that. Then I got the Nintendo DS, and I need to tell you about the Nintendo DS. I was at a store with my dad. I still remember this. This is like one of my core memories. And by that time, I'm pretty sure in a magazine I read that this thing existed and that I wanted it. And obviously I had like all the other Nintendo consoles and games before. And I knew that the game came out, and it came out with Pokemon Dash. In this store, I must have been the most annoying little shit that ever existed, because I only remember for like probably 30 minutes straight in the store being to my father, please I want it, please I want it, please I want it, please buy it, please buy it, I want the DS, I want the DS, I want the DS, please buy it, please buy it, please buy it. I remember that, and I'm so sorry to my father, so sorry, but it must have worked. I don't know if he planned to buy the console from the very beginning, okay? But we did go out of the store with the Nintendo DS and with Pokemon Dash, and he spent the money, and it was beautiful. I played that game so much. I played the like Metroid demo you would get with the game. And I'm talking about the original Nintendo DS, like the fat one, the silver one that has like curves on it, right? And it was freaking beautiful. And I played Pokemon Dash. And then like later, I played some other games. I don't know exactly which one, must have been more. At some point, I got like the Nintendo DS Lite. I skipped the DSi. I think the DSi came after anyway. I got a red Nintendo DS Lite. And on that, I got like one of those cards where you could like emulate games, and my god, I played for so many games. It was so good. There was that. Then the Wii U was the very first console I bought from like my own money, and technically it was still my parents' money, right? But it's just money I saved up that I got like from presents from Christmas and stuff, like, because I was prepared. I knew that the Nintendo Wii was coming out from like magazines and stuff, and I think by the time when that came out, I already had a PC, but I'm not entirely sure, right? So I bought that thing like freaking day one it was in the store. I bought that and I had so much fun with it, with like the Wii Sports. And what was the first game I bought for that? I'm not entirely sure. Might have been a Mario game, or might have been, I don't know if Smash was there day one. I don't completely remember what games were like day one, but like, man, I had so much fun with that game as well. It was glorious. It was a glorious time, of course, with the Wii, because it could also play all the GameCube games that I still had, so I obviously, of course, did that. Then like the Nintendo 3DS came out at some point, and I didn't like get it on release. I got the Nintendo 3DS when the price drop already happened and the 3DS XL was released, and I bought the special edition 3DS XL with Fire Emblem Awakening. And I played Fire Emblem Radiant on the GameCube. And it was good, it was amazing. But I like didn't really understand back then it was a series. But when the 3DS came out, I already knew it. Of course, it was a series, and I was like, I need this game. It looks so freaking amazing. And guess what? The game was freaking amazing. It's still one of the best Fire Emblem games to ever exist, and is also the Fire Emblem game that made Fire Emblem very popular in the West, because before that, it wasn't really at all. And the 3DS obviously was a massive success for Nintendo, right? It printed money, and even after, like, the life of the console basically ended and the Switch has been out for many, many years, they still released games for the 3DS because it just, like, has such a good player base. And even to this day, we in the library have probably 100+ games for the Nintendo 3DS, and they get like checked out daily because these consoles are like in every household. Basically every household that games has like a Nintendo 3DS. Yeah, so I played that, and then at some point I did buy the Wii U. It was a bit of a flop, but honestly, I had fun with the game. With console, right? The Wii U was the one where I played Xenoblade Chronicles for the first time. Technically, I could have played it on the Wii, but like I didn't know it existed back then, so I played it on the Wii U. It was a beautiful game, was fantastic, and by that point, obviously, I was a sophisticated gamer already. I did all the things, and then I like kind of like fell out with Nintendo and started to play like more PC games, more MMORPG games, and then of course, the Switch 2 came out. I was like, it's kind of cool, but I'm like, I'm not sure if I want that. So I waited a while until Smash Bros. Ultimate was announced to buy the Nintendo Switch. And then I got it, and then I played it. It was freaking fantastic. And basically, that's like my whole gaming history with Nintendo. Of course, I didn't mention any of the PlayStation consoles so far, right? We had the PlayStation 1 and 2 we had at my father's house. 3 I skipped, 4 I got at some point later, and I have the 5 now but barely use it. I had the Xbox 360, I got it used at some point and played some games on it. It was like, so I never really got more, but I did enjoy the games I played on there. And I did have the PSP, which was a beautiful little handheld console, because you could like hack it as well, which I did, and watch anime on it, from SD cards. I watched the whole of Lucky Stars and many, many other shows just on the PSP in my bed, because it was before smartphones, obviously. And then I got the PS Vita, basically when the PS Vita was already like dying, right? I got it used with like Persona 4 Golden and a few other games, and that was cool as well. And nowadays I have the Steam Deck. I sometimes play when I'm in bed, like play some Hello Kitty Island Adventure, play some other cute indie games, right? I don't like to play like demanding games on that console, because I'm in bed, I'm sleepy. Just play some like chill indie games. And yes, I am hyped for the Nintendo Switch 2 as well. And I will probably get it, maybe even day one. But I will have to see for like a good game to come out, because I'm not really interested in Mario Kart. Never really have been. Like, I played some Mario Kart in my life, but I'm not a competitive racing fan, even though Mario Kart can be fun with like friends and family. But yeah, we'll have to see what games do come out. Monolith Software, the makers of Xenoblade Chronicles, will probably release some kind of game on the Switch too. And at that point, I want the Switch 2 whenever that game comes out, or when the new Kirby Air Raiders comes out. To be fair, that new Donkey Kong game also looks amazing, and I do want that, but it's a lot of money, right? So I'll have to see. Anyway, this video like ended up like way longer than I thought, but I wanted to talk about my life with Nintendo, so thank you for listening, and I will see you next time. Do tell me what's your favorite console and what's your favorite game down below in the comments, okay? And nice to see you next time. Bye!